What's happening, YouTube? It's your boy SliceGod Lenore here with a tutorial on my boy J23 Kush, Lil Jordan, my co-worker. First thing you want to do is lift the hair off the scalp with a comb, not a brush, because the brush lays down the hair and clumps it together. We want to lift the hair off the scalp to prepare it to be cut down to your desired length. He wanted a 1.5 on top or a 2-guard close, so I decided to go with the higher guard, which is the 2-guard close, just because he hasn't had a haircut in a minute and we want to keep it dark as possible, because we can always take hair off, but we cannot add it on. When taking down the hair, make sure you comb as you go to watch out for swirls and cowlicks, to make sure you follow the hair pattern, the way the hair grows, because you don't want to pet your client. Not a good look. Right here, I'm being very cautious about the crown, following the pattern it grows, because the crown is always thinner. And once again, you don't want to pet your client, so take your time, no need to be in a rush. This is why it's important to comb, because if I wasn't combing, I would never realize that this dark piece of hair in the crown area was in the wrong direction, so I needed to comb it down to close the crown area up. Right here, I'm grabbing my blow dry to knock all the excess hair off my client. He looking in the mirror, because I asked him, was that a good length? He said, yeah, so that's why you go with the higher guard, just in case. Now with the brush, I'm laying the hair back down, making sure the waves pop, getting it ready to start my tapering. Right here, I'm setting in my first guideline in a half moon-like shape to give it that burst effect. Now we balding out the excess hair from under the guideline, making sure we're getting it clean as possible. I'm very OCD, so I want to make sure everything's clean, because it gives me a peace of mind, like a clear train of thought when I'm going into the tape. Now I grab my wall magic clip with the lever open to set in my next guideline. Remember, the cleaner the guideline, the better you can visualize and see exactly what you're doing within that guideline. Now that we're done sitting in the guideline, I'm working my way down, closing the lever as I move down within that guideline. It might look like I'm in the same spot, but every time I touch the clipper, like touch the side of the clipper, that means I'm working my way down to the bottom of the guideline until it's fully blended. And what I mean by me touching the side of the clipper is me closing the lever as I work myself down. I'm closing the lever little by little until it's fully blended. Now I got my 1 guard from the set in my guideline all the way open, just like I did with the lever open. From the set another guideline right on top of it and work my way down. may see me doing a lot of corner work, and this because I'm detailing as I go. I like to detail as I go and when I finish. It might be more time consuming, but that will separate you from the average barber. Now I got my 2-guard again, but this time it's open, and I'm finna debulk the hair going into the 2-guard close with the grain that we cut the hair down with. So we using the 2-guard open to debulk the areas from the behind the ear in toward the C cup in the line, front line. Then we're gonna work our way down with it too until we get into the taper. Now I'm grabbing my 1.5 guard to connect the 2-guard with the last guideline, which is the 1-guard. Gonna use this 1.5 guard to work our way down until the area is blended. Right here, I'm showing you the wrist motion that I'm using. I'm not going into the top of his head. I'm pulling off the head to blend into the 2-guard that we use. I'm not trying to create another guideline. Right here, I'm grabbing that 1-guard, opening and closing the lever, knocking out certain dark spots to my preference to get those certain dark spots that the 1.5 guard left. Right here, I got my lever open with no guard to take out this last guideline. Now, if you are a beginner, I suggest you use a 0 guard, half guard, or 1/16 guard, depending on what clipper you use. At this point, the guideline is basically gone. I could be done with the taper, but no, I'm not. I want to get this taper to the next level, so I'm constantly detailing and hitting certain dark areas. Be careful going into them higher areas with no guard. Remember, I am an advanced barber, so I can do certain things, but if you choose to do so, please be careful. Do not lay the clipper flat. Go at an angle, and you should want to touch the tip of the hairs to get certain spots out when you're going with no guard. I didn't want this video to be longer than it already is, so I cut out me doing this side, but it's basically the same exact steps as the other side. Same way with the back, same steps, just a bigger workspace. We're balling it out. Be careful with your trimmers when you balling it out. My clippers are sharp, but I'm very used to how I hold my clippers and how hard I press down. So be careful when you're sitting in the guidelines with the trimmers. Now we got the guard clipper open, no guard, and we're working our way down within that guideline. Then we're gonna move to the 1 guard, the 2 guard, the 1.5 guard, and we're gonna come back with the clipper open, or in y'all case, the 0 guard. Here go that one guard open again, sitting in that guideline, getting prepared to work our way down, closing the lever as we move down. Sometimes clients tend to have darker spots on the back of their head, so with the 2 guard, I make sure I get the darker areas or focus more on the darker areas, even though I'm still following the same steps, but I focus more on those darker areas to lighten them up. Another method that I use on lightening up those darkest areas is going with a smaller guard with the grain to help lighten those areas up. Working our way down with their 1.5 guard, taking out their guideline from the 2 guard open, well 2 guard in general, and their 1 guard. Dusting up my client before I get into this last guideline so I can get very detailed and be very focused and see exactly what I'm doing. A lot of people hair tend to grow at an angle, so for you to go against the grain, you have to go against the way the hair grows, whether it's at an angle or straight down, for you to get the best results. Right here I'm spraying hairspray on both sides of the back line up to lock it in place because he hasn't had a haircut in a long time and I don't want the hairs moving when I'm giving out these crispy edge up. When it comes to edging up someone on the back line up, basically keep it as far out as possible. Like I said, he had overhang, so I took hair that was hanging off. But other than that, you don't want to make a V-like shape in the back that's ugly. It's going to look ugly when it grow back. So you want to keep it natural as possible while still giving them a crispy line up in the back. I treat the back line up like the front line up. I treat the back taper like the side tapers. Everything get the same treatment. Reputation is key. Like I said, reputation is key. Remember that I could have been done with this side line up. I switched clippers, constantly combing to get all those overhanging hairs. Now I'm cutting the front hairline down with a guard level lower than what I previously cut the whole head down with. I cut the whole head down with a 2, so I'm cutting the front line up with a 1.5. Don't be scared to stand in front of your client for accuracy, because remember, at the end of the day, you want them to be as symmetrical as possible, so do whatever you gotta do. Now I'm spraying holder spray on this front line up, same way as the back, locking those hairs in place, getting ready for a crispy edge up. When it comes to the front line up, I start with the C-cup, then the vertical bars, as you can see. I do that on both sides, and that way I got a clear visual of where I need to go straight across with. I start in the middle, work my way to one side, then I work my way to the other side. Right here I'm showing y'all the overhanging hair, so won't nobody say I'm pushing him back, even though I'm barely gonna take something off. Now that I got one side locked in, I'm about to work my way to the other side. You most definitely do not want to rush on the hairline. Blended, splendid, slice to death, no spray. Hey man, when you want to look like $1,000,000 like a celebrity, you go with the enhancements the right way though. You gotta do it the right way. I apply my enhancements, in my opinion, very accurately. I don't go overboard. I don't want it to be super jet black. I want it to match the whole other side of the texture of the hair, because some people hairline tend to be very light. So I just fill it in to where it looks full as possible and natural as it can possibly appear. Now I'm back with the holding spray, locking these fibers in place. I don't use black spray like I said. It does tend to give off that super black, jet black look that doesn't match the rest of the head. So I go with the fibers because I'm able to control it more. Then I go back in with my Mike Tyson boards. That's what I call my trimmers because they both hidden. My Mike Tyson board and my Mayweather boards. I go back in to give it this nice thin white ash line, nothing too crazy, no dirty look. Just a clean, thin white ash line. The white chalk, that thick white chalk, no sir, none of that. You just going with the thin white ash line, that crispy, clean look. The razor don't make it no better, it make it look even better. You dig what I'm saying? So we go with that razor, hit both sides, and then man, give it that Photoshop look, even though it's not Photoshop, man. I'm giving y'all the game, man. I'm giving y'all the recipe, man. Cause I wish folks did the same way, even though they did. Like I did watch 360 G's, I watched all the goats and stuff like that, but man, it's my time to shine now. Not in a cocky way, but in a humble aspect, really. Basically saying I wanna give back and show my skills now, give some game out, because I was giving game out. Because at barber school, I wasn't learning how to cut hair in barber school. I was learning about the book. So I'm teaching y'all, giving y'all this free game, not charging you for it. I just want you to like, subscribe, show me some love, comment, help my YouTube algorithm get up there. And I appreciate y'all, like real talk. I really did appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you got to this point, you trying to learn something, stay blessed. Everybody, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM, let me know you came from YouTube. I'm gonna show some love back. I stamped it. I mean it. It's like